Josie singing tenor for us. Yeah. On my left is Jim singing bass. And down there on the end, that's my favorite Disney villain, Steve, singing
Thank you very much, folks. Welcome. If you look up and down Main Street USA, you can see we are celebrating Halloween time.
Oh, it's one of my favorite times of year. And in fact, every year, fellas, you know how when everybody's done trick-or-treating, we sit around and tell each other ghost stories. Well, folks, what do you say? Do you want to hear a ghost story right now? Say boo!
Boo! Is that after last time?
Yeah. Well, what do you say, fellas?
How about the story that always cost me so many sleepless nights?
Hey, Jacob.
Yes.
What keys it is?
A skeleton key, of course. Oh, please, though they're all deceased, I beg of you, amend me. Please, oh, please, let them rest in peace, for once they start, they never cease. You see, here lies good old Fred, a great big rock fell on his head. And a peaceful rest lies Brother Claude, planted deep beneath the sod.
Under the sun, here's the first ring of opera. Haunting Harriet searched for a tune, but never could carry.
There's cousin Paul, never awoke the night of dreams beloved smoke. So please, oh please, they're all deceased. We must beware the spirits release. Rest in peace, cousin Hewitt. We all know you didn't do it right. And Mary Rosemary fast will not knowing the meaning of words could give. So please, pretty please, oh please, let them rest in peace. For once they start, they never cease, and right before your very eyes, the ghosts come out to socialize. When the cryptos creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out from a swinging lake, and the uncertainty realize and begin to vocalize. Pretty ghosts come out to socialize. Now close your eyes and don't try to hide, or a silly spook may sit by your side, shrouded in a death disguise. They pretend to terrorize. Pretty ghosts come out to socialize. As the moon climbs higher the dead oak tree, spooks arrive for the midnight spree. Creepy creeps with eerie eyes start to shriek and harmonize. Pretty ghosts come out to socialize. When you hear the knell of a requiem bell, here goes we where spirits dwell. Restless bones in Imperial lies, rise the spooks of every size. Pretty ghosts come out to socialize. Pretty ghosts come out to socialize. Say, fellas, what do you say we tell these people another Halloween tale? How about an eerie legend that will get their minds galloping?
Oh, you mean the one about the...
Yes, Josie, it's the Headless Horseman.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Ba-do-do-do-do, ba-do, 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 ba-do,
Now, gather round as we elucidate the false when it gets slain.
make a ghost and then she's to get together.
There's good horns and sausages and some buffets about this size.
Some short, round, some tall and thin, and some no doubt other skin.
I'm telling you, brother, it's a frightful sight just to see what goes on in the night. Oh, when the schools have a midnight jamboree, they break it up with a fiendish glee. Ghosts are bad, but the one that's cursed is the headless horseman. He's the worst. That's right, he's a fright on Halloween night when he goes a-jogging across the land, holding his noggin right in his hand. Demons take one look and groan and hit the road for parts unknown. Beware, take care, he rides alone. Well, there's no spooker like the spook that's burned. The ghosts don't like a turn, he's burned. He swears to the longest day he's dead. It'll show them that he can get ahead. So close off the window, lock the doors. Unless you're careful, he'll get yours. Don't think he'll hesitate because of clip your top if it'll fit. He likes them little, likes them big, right in the middle. Or a wig.
Johnny, Susie, Teddy, and Fred.
That legs horseman needs a head with a hip, hip, and a clippity-clop. Yeah, he's out looking for a top to shop. So don't stop to figure out a plan. You can reason with a headless man. Bop,
Do,
bop,
do,
bop,
do,
bop,
do,
bop,
do,
bop. I'm telling you, brother, it's a frightful sight. Halloween night.
Say, fellas, that reminds me of a joke.
It does?
Yeah. Why do mummies have such a hard time keeping friends?
Well, I don't know, Josie. Why do mummies have such a hard time keeping friends?
Because they're too wrapped up in themselves.
Oh, that's what I call a petrified fun.
I think you mean putrefied.
Okay, well, you know what? Nothing stinks as much as that slimy, sinister sea witch, Ursula. Yes.
Dum, 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 in the past she's been a nasty. They were kidding when they called her a witch.
But you'll find that nowadays she's
Maybe all her ways. It's in the line of this switch. True?
Yes. And she pushes her windows a little tight. Magic, talent, touch, she always possessed.
And dear lady, please don't laugh. She'll use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and depressed. Pathetic, poor, unfortunate soul in pain. Indeed.
This one longing to be thinner.
That one wants to get the girl.
Now she found them.
Yes, indeed.
Poor, unfortunate soul. So sad.
So true.
They come flocking to her cauldron, grind spells her slipper.
And she mounts them.
She do. Now it happened once or twice. Someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid she had to make across the course.
Oh, yes, she's had the odd complaint, but on the whole, she's been a saint to those poor, unfortunate souls.
Come on, you poor, unfortunate
Flotsam, Jetsam, now you
Got her, boys. Your boss is on a roll. This poor, unfortunate son.
Poor unfortunate, poor unfortunate, poor unfortunate, poor unfortunate soul.
Is one bad apple, that Ursula.
One bad rotten or slime-infested, bug-ingested.
Josie, I think they get the whole creepy picture. Friends, if you're just joining us, we're the Dapper
And
Dans.
that's right, we're just singing songs to scare up some smiles.
Oh, and hopefully we're not too frightful.
Josie, nothing's as frightful as your hair and your Halloween jokes.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I've got a good one. Okay, how do monsters tell the future?
I don't know, Josie. How do monsters tell the future?
They read their horoscopes.
Hey, you know, monsters aren't the only creatures that come out to socialize this time of year.
That's right. There's a fur-wearing woman who's creeping through the streets.
Oh, lock up your puppies and close down the pound.
Aroused howl. Cruella's aroused.
There's a wicked woman so despicable and sad. She's heartless, cold, and pitiless. She's evil and bad. And when she's above, you better look out. I wanna tell you she's bad. She's so bad. Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. To see her is to take a sudden chill. Cruella, Cruella de Vil. The curl of her lip, the ice in her stare.
All innocent children.
Had better beware.
She's like a spider waiting for the kill. Look out for Cruella de Vil. At first you think Cruella is the devil, but after time has worn away the shock, you come to realize you see her kind of eyes are watching you from underneath a rock. Ah! This vampire bat, this inhuman beast, she ought to be locked up and never released. Oh, the world was such a wholesome place until Cruella, Cruella de Vil, de Vil. Cruella, Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil. Look at that, folks. A standing ovation. Can you believe that? Oh, you know, she is a real trickster, that Cruella de Vil.
Hey, you're doggone right.
Hey, fellas, I have a Halloween riddle to rattle your brains. What's a vampire's favorite mode of transportation?
I'm the foggiest.
Dino! A bicycle.
Yeah. Blood vessel?
One of my dogs like that joke.
Your dog? Why?
Because he's a bloodhound.
Okay, that's enough. All right, yeah, you know what? How about we torment these people with another tune instead? After all, this is Halloween.
Bum 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 bum
Bones and bones of every age. Wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat till the neighbors die of fright. It's our town, everybody scream. In this town of Halloween. Bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da.
I am the one hiding under your bed. Teeth round
shark and eyes glowing red.
I am the one hiding under your stairs. Fingers like snakes and spiders in my hair.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream!
He is the clown with the tearaway face. Here in a flash and gone without a trace.
I am the one when you call
Who's there? I am the wind blowing through your hair.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream!
Tender up wings everywhere. Life's no fun without a good scare.
That's our job, but we're not me. In our town of Halloween.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream! In this town we go home. Everyone hail to the pumpkin song. La 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 Halloween, Halloween, la 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 Halloween, Halloween. It's our town, everybody scream. In this town of Halloween.
All right. Why don't skeletons ever go out on the town?
All right, help us out, folks.
Why don't skeletons ever go out on the town?
Because they don't have any body to go.
The spookiest place on earth. And until we see you again, oh, we'll sing you a little song, and it won't be very long. About someone so long. So long, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Hello, my friends. It's Indiana Holmes. So happy you're with me today. I wasn't responding to questions. Sorry. I wasn't responding to questions during the wonderful show we just had with our favorite barbershop quartet. Whoa, this street has gotten very busy here today. Crazy. There's every kind of vehicle. I think they were all stopped waiting for the show to end there. Okay, well, we did have a little mishap yesterday. Lizzie and I couldn't get into Disneyland, but I'm here today, and I have checked and double-checked all my reservations coming up, and I've even screenshotted all of the reservation confirmations and saved all the emails so that now, if that ever happens again like it did yesterday, I will have proof that I actually did have a reservation. Anyway, I'm happy to be here today. It is a beautiful fall day, I gotta say. Another fall day. We really feel like it's fall today. Let's see what the temperature is. 74 degrees and mostly cloudy with some blue sky trying to break through. So what's all this talk of a celebrity in the park? Somebody put down the link and said they have like 44 million subscribers, and somebody said speed, but I don't know who the heck you guys are talking about. So you've got to actually type in the chat the name, the actual name of the person, because silly old me, I'm not that quick, and I don't follow that many celebrities. Really, I don't follow celebrities, so I don't know who we're talking about. I do follow YouTubers though, so I was trying to figure it out and like, who's got 44 million subscribers, but you know, I can't remember that kind of stuff. So, type in the chat who it is that's here with their special guide today and their family. Boy, once again, my screen is so dark that I cannot read the chat. Let me see if I can brighten the screen here. Now the screen is all the way bright. 88 degrees in Indianapolis. Yes, the very big win for me and Lizzie yesterday was We unfortunately didn't get to come into the park. We did some fun merch searching for about an hour and then went home, and the upside of yesterday was that we got to see the Indiana Fever play the Las Vegas Aces, and they were commanding. Indiana Fever was a commanding force on the court yesterday, and we're gonna call the Fever, let's see, Force 5 Fever, Fever Force 5, something like that. They were spectacular. And so now the Las Vegas Aces have won 2 games out of 5 in Indianapolis. The I shouldn't say Indianapolis, I should say the Indiana Fever have won 2 games, which now means we go back to Las Vegas for one more game to decide who goes to the finals. So it was pretty exciting. There was lots of yelling and screaming of joy yesterday in the Holmes household. Well, I can't wait till my new iPhone 17 comes, because the screen is so dark out here in the sun. I cannot even read your chat. And the new iPhone 17 is supposed to be 3 times brighter. I'm gonna go over here into the shade and see if I can read this better. Okay. That's funny. Well, I saw the link, but I can't click on links when I'm on live here with you guys, live streaming. So you just have to type in the name. Wow, sorry guys, but it's really, I don't know what it is here today, but my screen has dimmed. When the iPhone gets hot, it dims the screen dramatically, and I cannot read a thing. I'm gonna have to go back through the chat later when I'm like in an indoor queue or something and see if I can read it, because out here it's just too hard. Maybe if I put my reader glasses on and go to someplace a little less bright. Well, here we are. It's pretty busy already today. I had to park at the very back of the Toy Story parking lot because it was so busy. Ooh, it's dark enough in here. Okay, here I think I can read. All right, I'm gonna go look at this. Oh yeah, now I can read. Krista, you're so funny. That's great. I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it works great, except it's much dimmer than the new iPhone 17 that's coming up. Right? Fourth quarter was crazy, right, Sean? I show speed. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Thick Lady Vibes. That must be, he must be some kind, he or she, or they must be some kind of a YouTube star that I'm not aware of. But I'll check it out when I get home. Where am I on my way to? I'm just gonna wander around, you know. I'm always the same when I'm by myself. I travel the path of least resistances. I guess the YouTubers that I'm watching are different from the YouTubers you guys are watching. I usually watch like tech and music YouTubers. So if it's somebody else that's not in the tech arena or not in the music and specifically guitar, then I wouldn't know them. I know people like Mr. Who's the Boss, and I mean, I don't know them personally, but those are the ones that I subscribe to and follow and watch. Mr. Who's the Boss, Casey Neistat, who doesn't do too much YouTube anymore, but he did for quite a number of years, and then got paid $10 million by CNN to help them, and so he became independently wealthy after being a dishwasher. He went from dishwasher to sort of video production and then to YouTube, and made a lot of money, had a lot of subscribers, and then CNN paid him $10 million. Or maybe it was even more. I think it was $25 million. We'd have to look that up. Somebody could do a search. How much did Casey Neistat get paid by CNN? Was it 10 million or 25 million? Anyway, a lot of money. And after that, he slowly stopped posting to YouTube with such frequency. Now he only posts once in a while. But I know people like that. I mean, those are the kind of people, and a lot of other musicians and guitarists. So general YouTubers that are doing entertainment. I know Disney YouTubers like Ace Snoopy and Coda Bear and people like that that I've met and that I will watch when I'm sitting home at night. Wow, look how busy it is here today. It's crazy busy. Crazy busy for a Monday. This is insane. I don't usually come on Mondays. Maybe Mondays are like this all the time. But yeah, I don't usually come on Mondays. Thank you, Main Street Paul. I'll be here again tomorrow. I have a reservation. But I will definitely be home by the time the Indiana Fever goes to play the Aces. Because the fifth and final game of the semifinals is tomorrow. Hello, Allie. Sorry if I don't say hi to everybody. It's just really difficult to read the text on my phone right now, as my screen has darkened itself for some reason, and I can't brighten it anymore. I can feel the phone is really hot. It's really weird. I wonder if my iPhone 15 is finally dying. Wow, the lines here are insane. Look at the line for Alice in Wonderland here. It's going all the way around the building. So crazy. Oh my gosh, this is as busy as like a Friday evening. Incredible. Look at Strollerland over here. It's just packed. Oh my gosh. Let's see what single rider looks like over here. Maybe we'll do single rider at the Matterhorn, just because everything else is so slammed. My gosh, it's just crazy. I bet you will, Sean. Number 2? Thank you. All right, looks like I'm heading off to the left side here. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, what's happening?
How many viewers you got at the moment?
At the moment, there's only 33 of us on
Hey,
here. Where are you guys from?
New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yep.
Hey, welcome. I'm from here. I was born in Los Angeles. What can I say?
Yeah.
I can't get out of here.
Yeah, that's the one, man.
How long are you guys here from New Zealand?
We're here for 2 weeks, but we spent like 8 nights in New York, 1 night in Washington.
Oh,
We've got 2
fantastic.
nights here and we got 1 more.
Fantastic. Welcome, guys. Hope you enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
A nice group of young men and ladies from New Zealand. You know what, guys? When I was younger, and some of you know this because I've talked about it a little bit, I worked with celebrities all the time. And I'm not talking little celebrities like YouTubers like us. I'm talking about Michael Jackson, okay? I worked with Michael Jackson. We did his Thriller album cover. And I worked with all the movie stars on television in the 1980s that were on Dallas and Dynasty, and all the country western stars from Nashville, and all of the music stars from Motown, and just so many television and movie stars and music stars. So I'm not easily impressed by celebrities. But if I meet a celebrity in person, just chilling and just chatting and get to know them as a person the way I'd meet any one of you guys, that is more interesting to me. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Spot number 6.
Number 6, thank you. Awesome, I love the 6th seat. Celebrities are just normal people like you and me. They just have a lot more attention on them, and they have generally, not always, but they generally have a lot more money than you and I. So, you know, don't be overly excited or overly freaked out or overly protective of celebrities. They're just like you and me. You know, we all eat the same way, we all go to the bathroom the same way, and we all are born and die the same way. So, you know, celebrities are fun to meet or see, I guess, in person, but really be more excited about your neighbor or your friend that you see on a daily basis that supports you and is friends with you. That's all I have to say on that subject. Yeah, well, Michael was a handsome guy before he had all those nose jobs. I knew him before the nose jobs, and I would say after his first nose job, he still looked pretty good. But after that, it was unfortunate.
Remember to take off your hat, it will play out.
Yeah. All right, we are going on this ride. I think I'm gonna have to turn off the gimbal and just hold the phone.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled. And be sure to watch your children. Auf Wiedersehen.
Alright, here we go, guys. I'm going to try and hold this steady for you. It's intense here on this ride, though.
Y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tobogán. Y cuide a sus pequeños.
Alright, here we go. Let's hope I survive this. I like being in the last seat, though. This is great. Up we go! Boy, that was wild. So going on the left side today, I felt it maybe was less violent than the right side of the ride.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Yeah, the Dodgers are doing great. Yeah, back in the day when I worked in the entertainment business, I went to so many parties with so many celebrities, movie stars and musicians, and I was in so many of their houses. You come to understand that really they're just like you and me. They have many of the same fears, many of the same wants and needs, and the main difference is that, you know, they have a big public profile and they generally have a lot more money than a lot of us. So, you know, for me, I'm more impressed by people that create things that change the world. So like, for example, Steve Jobs of Apple Computer. He was not a very nice person, but he was kind of a genius in marketing. He, like Walt Disney, had a big imagination and knew how to market things in the same way that Walt Disney did. You know, Walt Disney stopped drawing in 1924. He started his company in 1920, or at least he started as an animator in 1920, then started his company, his first company, in 1923, but he completely stopped drawing animated films by 1924 because he realized he was not as good of an artist as some of the artists that he could hire. But look what Walt Disney did. He used his creativity, his imagination, his marketing genius to change the world of entertainment in regards to theme parks. And Steve Jobs was that same kind of person. Maybe not quite as likable as Walt Disney, though. Okay, we've got a whole crew of people here. I don't know if these are the guys you're talking about. There's a whole crew of people in black t-shirts, and they've got Disney guides with them with special badges on, and they've got their own cameraman.
Folks, thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going? Hi, guys. How's it going, gentlemen? Hello, hello. Hello, guys.
Down this way, please. Okay.
Okay, I don't know who that was or who that group of guys was, but they all looked important. They were big, tall, muscular guys with black shirts on, and they had Disney security and stuff, so I don't know if that's who you were talking about, but they looked important. I just don't know who they were.
The camera is literally facing me. What's your order?
It's tempting to get one of these cheesy garlic pretzel breads. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Let's see. Shall I go on Small World? Yeah, I would think Disneyland would be the one place you really wouldn't need a bodyguard, because there is so much security here, so many plainclothes security Disney people. I mean, they've got this place locked down, they've got it under control. That's what they do, they know how to do it. All right, let's see what the standby time. Ooh, standby time for Small World looks really long. It says 20 minutes, but there's no way that's 20 minutes. That's like 35 minutes minimum. So we're just gonna walk around. Let's talk a little bit about Disneyland in Anaheim. Did you know that Anaheim was founded as a city in 1857? And you'll never guess who founded it. It was some German immigrants, some German businessmen of German descent anyway, they were German, who had a winery up in the San Francisco area. And they wanted to expand their business, and they needed more places to grow grapes and to build a bigger winery. So they went looking for land, and they settled on the area that we now call Anaheim, and they founded it as a city. And they opened up a winery where they grew grapes and they mashed them up and turned them into wine. And it was actually two different German families that founded Anaheim in 1857. And just 98 years later, Walt Disney would open Disneyland. But a lot of things happened between the time that Anaheim was founded as a city and by the time that Walt Disney settled on this land to build his theme park. So, I was reading the chat there a little bit. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I'm glad you guys know. This is crazy busy. Wow. So yeah, they had this winery, and it went really well. And they grew lots of grapes, and they vented lots of wine, and they were very successful for a while. But about 30 years after they started, 30 or 40 years, I can't remember the exact year, there was a terrible grape disease, and it wiped out all of the vineyards down here in Anaheim. And that was the end of the wine business for those gentlemen. But then sometime after that, or along at the same time, this area started growing oranges. Originally, I think they were Valencia oranges, and then they renamed them sun-kissed oranges. And they started growing oranges. And the problem is that the oranges could only be supplied to California because they couldn't, but it was with the invention of the refrigerator. These things have a connection even though it's not a direct connection. So it was once they built or designed and had refrigerated like gold in a sense, at least for the orange growers. They were able to then ship their oranges eastward to all states east of the US. And that turned the orange growing business, the orange growers, into a huge success. And then when they started using this name, the Sun-Kissed name, it became a recognizable brand nationally, and people were able to have oranges any time of the year due to the weather that we had here in Southern California. So that's how the orange groves really exploded in Orange County. I know that I really do miss the orange groves too. I think there's still like one last grove here in Orange County, I think in South Orange County. But all of this land was owned by the Irvine Company, the James Irvine Company at one time. Because of a Spanish land grant, and then the Irvine Company bought it, so they parceled out the land. But when Walt Disney was looking for land, remember the last time we talked about this, I was on the train, and I talked about how Walt Disney and Ward Kimball had went to the Chicago train show, and it was then that Walt started to form his ideas for a new type of amusement park. one that would be safe, one that would be really geared towards children and families, and it would not have any of the riffraff that you found in the kind of boardwalk parks like Coney Island or other kinds of parks by the sea throughout the country that had a bad reputation for ripping people off and games of chance and drunkenness and stuff like that. So Walt started formulating this idea on his way back from the Chicago train show with Lord Kimball, and that's when he started coming up with this idea that would eventually become Disneyland. Walt hired the, let me go through here. Walt hired the Stanford Technical Institute to search for land for him, and heading into Smuggler's Run here. And they identified several different areas that were possible. They looked at the San Fernando Valley, the San Gabriel Valley, the San Bernardino Valley, and Orange County. But what they discovered was that many of those other valleys were so much hotter. Like, for example, Disney owned a big ranch, I mean a really big ranch that I think they used for filming live action movies out up in Saugus. So Saugus is up by Magic Mountain, so up the 5 freeway, almost leaving Southern California, almost leaving the Los Angeles basin. But the problem was it was 11 degrees hotter on average there than it is here in Anaheim. And it's also about 6 degrees colder there in the winter. They discovered that Anaheim had the perfect temperature. Going in with these guys?
Yeah, you're gonna be orange.
All right, we're gonna be orange. Gonna hang with these guys here. This nice family ahead of me. So it really came down to the weather. The weather was kind of unique here in Anaheim. It offered the best type. Hi, how are you? I guess I'm gonna be part of your crew. I'll be at the back, I'll be your engineer. The weather in Anaheim was sort of ideal. And it was just all of these orange groves and farms and like cattle and horse, not even ranches, just sort of some cattle and horses just kind of roaming around loosely on people's land.
Orange over here.
All right, here we go, guys.
Right this way.
So he went about purchasing land.
Gunners and my engineer.
I'll be an engineer, sure.
Awesome. We got some experienced engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Because I don't know. Looking down his back.
Dollars. I don't know. I've forgotten the exact number now. You have to look that up. But he threw everything into it. He had a home in Palm Springs and he sold it so he could use the money for Disneyland. He mortgaged his own home that he lived in with Lillian.
Good luck to you all. You might need it. Today's
And he still didn't have enough money.
You will be
I'll tell you more about that after this ride is over.
of coaxial. Gunners, you clear the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. Now get the move on and know that I have complete faith in you. But I am coming along with you just in case.
Remain seated and supervise younglings. Por favor, permanezcan sentados.
Hi, how are you?
Cuide a los niños. Gracias.
Everybody tug on those yellow tabs on your seatbelts.
Hurry now, time is money. Yes, flight engineers, repair test. Hit your flashing buttons. Only one engineer engineer. I'll do what I can to help out. Right, pilot, push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left, move your stick to fly right and left. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right, pull back on the stick to fly up, and push forward to fly down. Weapons are online. Oh, watch it! Chewie makes flying this thing go easy. Left pilot, let's go get that coaxial. Right pilot, make the jump to light speed. There's the train. Come, faster. Those Evitaes are protecting the train. Take them out. They've locked onto us. Take evasive action. There it is. After that train. Flight engineers, fire the harpoons. Pilot, brace. My friend, that could have been much worse. Okay, it's much worse. Yes, you got one. Excellent, my friends. Now power up the ship. Well, I gravity go axial. You see, just as I promised, my friend. Now that the resistance has were ready, maybe a little something for Hondo. Pilot, line up behind the trains. We can harpoon that last car. Flight engineers, fire the harpoons and reel us in. Get behind the train. Gunners, shooting! I thought you had a distraction! Fire the missiles at the train! It's coming down! Left pilot, hit the boosters! Boost! Look! Never die! Let's get out of here! Yes, Chewie will pilot us in remotely. You retrieved one container of coaxium. This, with modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is... Oh, that is rough. All right, I'm making an executive decision. Everybody out.
Thank you. All right, wow, that was the roughest ride, the most violent ride I've had on Smuggler's Run ever. It was crazy. I think it was due to our pilots. All right. So an interesting thing about when Walt was buying up the land for Disneyland is he had to do it secretly, because whenever any big company starts buying up a lot of land and the word gets out, of course there's lots of other people that have money and they want to jump on that train and buy up land around there so that they can build something like hotels that we see all up and down Harbor Boulevard, or they want to buy the land and hold it to then in hopes of having the main buyer buy their land at a higher price and make a big profit. So a lot of profiteers. So Walt had to buy the land kind of in secret with a real estate company that would mask his name, keep his name out of it, keep the Walt Disney Company out of it. So it took a while to do it. And there were several changes. At one point, he had walked away from, he had optioned some land right near the park here, but he had to walk away from it because that thing that I just talked about had happened, is that somebody had bought up land that he had planned to buy, and they kind of slipped in there ahead of him and bought it, knowing they had heard that somebody was buying up this land, and so they bought some of the land that Walt wanted for Disneyland. So at a certain point, he walked away, and he walked away from a $10,000 option or deposit on some land because he couldn't get all the land he wanted. So then he had to start over again. But in the course of all of this, one of his land agents, somebody that was working for Walt Disney, befriended the Anaheim, befriended somebody on the Anaheim City Council and the Chamber of Commerce as well. And when he did meet with them and told them of his plans, they got on board and they helped him find the land that Disneyland is on now, which was just a little bit south of the land that he was interested in buying up at Cerritos Street, Cerritos Boulevard. And so the land he ended up buying was further south, but there was still about 20 acres that he couldn't afford to buy, but were like butting up right against the Disneyland property, the property he bought to build Disneyland on. So Disneyland's a total of 160 acres, I believe, and there was about 20 acres that abutted that was right up against this 160 acres, and he just didn't have the money for it. He threw everything he had into it, all of his money. You have to realize at this time, Walt Disney, no longer had much control over the Walt Disney Company, the movie studio, because he had went public with it, and then it had a board of directors, and of course he had voting shares, and of course, you know, he might have been way up on the executive board, but he didn't have 100% control of the Walt Disney Studios like he did before it went public. So he couldn't really leverage money from the studio. They weren't helpful. They weren't interested in a theme park because, like everybody else, they thought Walt was crazy for wanting to build a theme park because, as I said earlier, theme parks up to this point were like the kind of things you'd find at Coney Island in New York. They were usually by the sea, and they were usually like set around a pier, or they were more like a carnival. And those carnivals had a bad reputation for having kind of not very upstanding people and not good upstanding business practices. So everybody thought he was crazy, including his brother Roy, who was the financial genius that helped Walt's dreams come true, because he even said himself, he never knew how much money he had in the bank. He was useless at money. But Roy had worked in banking when he was a young man. He started out as a bank teller. And so Roy really knew money and banking and finance. And so that was the greatest partnership. Roy was, 9 years older than Walt. And really, because it was sort of a large family, growing up, Roy really kind of took Walt under his wing and raised him. And although they had many arguments, many famous arguments, even at one point not talking to each other for 2 years when they were working within the Walt Disney Studios, there was a period of time where their argument got to be so big, and nobody really knows what the argument was over, but they stopped talking to each other for 2 years, and they would only communicate through intermediaries, other employees in the company. But eventually they got over that and all was good. But when it came to Disneyland, Roy, just like everybody else, just like all the banks, thought that Walt was crazy, he was going to lose all his money. Lillian was very stressed about it when she found out that he'd mortgaged his home, sold off the Palm Springs house, threw all of his money into the Disneyland project. And she even had said to him, you know, Walt, what's going to happen to me if you go under? Who's going to take care of me if something happens to you and all the money is sunk in this project? So you understand, the whole world was sort of against him, including his family. But anyway, he secured the land that Disneyland now stands on, and there was these 20 acres that abutted the Disneyland, what would be the Disneyland property. And so Walt had a very strong, very long friendship with a very famous actor and performer by the name of Art Linkletter. I don't know if you guys know who Art Linkletter is, but you can look him up. He was a really sweet, personable man. He had his own shows on TV. He was a great entertainer. And he and Walt had a lifelong friendship. So after Walt had purchased all this land and there was like 20 acres left over that was butting right up against the Disneyland property, Walt knew that if Disneyland was successful, that this 20 acres would be worth millions and millions of dollars just 5 years down the road, because people would buy it up to put hotels and restaurants and who knows what on it. So he took Art Linkletter for a drive one day, I think it was a Sunday, and they drove out here among, as Art Linkletter describes it, dirt roads and orange groves and overgrown properties with horses and cattle roaming about kind of aimlessly. And then Walt pulled up on a little bit of a berm, a little bit of a hill, and said, this is what I'm gonna do. Here's all the land I've purchased. And I'm telling you this because the land we're standing on now, 20 acres of it, is not mine. I can't afford to buy it. But whoever buys it is going to have this land that will be worth millions of dollars within 5 years. So he said, Art, I'm telling you this because I want you as my friend to have the first chance at scooping up this land and then profiting from it. But Art Linkletter, even though he was probably his best friend, thought like Roy did. Not crazy Looney Tunes like put you in an asylum crazy, but financially incorrect. I'll go home and I'll think about this and, you know, do my own research and decide what to do at some point. And Walt said, no, you have to buy the land now. This is when it's going to be worth a lot. Right now is the best price you're ever going to get, and it's going to be worth a fortune. So Art made up a bunch of excuses and said he was short of money at the time, which he wasn't. He was very wealthy. And in the end, Art Linkletter did not buy the land that Walt had shown him. And Art Linkletter went on to say it was probably the biggest mistake of his life, because had he bought the land, as Walt had said, it would have been worth tens of millions of dollars just 5 years later. As it turned out, all that land got bought up by other investors who then did build hotels and restaurants and so on it. So Walt tried to do a good turn for his friend Art, but just like everybody else, Art did not have faith in Walt's vision. Well, Krista, you know what? The important thing is to always follow your dreams. Even if you fail, even if you're not successful, at least you know in your heart that you tried, and that although you may have failed, you'll never have to look back and wonder, could I have, or should I have, or what if I had? So, you know, following your dreams is always the best thing, even if it ends up unsuccessful.
As we're waiting, please take the section up to the party, including all railways, and number ready for the passenger at the end of the line. And as a friendly reminder, all 20 drinks must be finished, put away or thrown away before you leave our theater. Once again,
Hello, Christian. Hello, Main Street Paul. I can finally read the text over here where it's more shadowy. Hello, Ryan. Let's see who else is here. Okay, I can't see anymore. I have to go too far back in the text, but anyway, I just wanted to say hi and welcome to everybody. This is Indiana Holmes here at Disneyland today on this beautiful fall Monday. The weather is cool, it's partly cloudy, and it's very busy today. It feels like everybody in Southern California took the day off to come to Disneyland. But it's a beautiful day and I'm having a good time. Just trying to give you a little bit of history on Disneyland and the city of Anaheim.
Very sad, antique, all of that.
That's the kind of guy Walt was, you know, and like I was saying when I was on the Matterhorn, I kind of think of him in the same thought as Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak threw all of their efforts, all of their energy, all of their creativity, all of their money into Apple Computer. And at one point, you know, Apple was failing so badly that Steve Jobs was kicked out of the company that he started. And he went off and founded another company called Next Computer, which was more focused on the education market, like colleges and universities. I worked with those kind of computers as well when I was young, and they were really far ahead of their time. But ultimately, Steve Jobs ended up talking to his friend George Lucas and purchasing the Pixar like work group within Lucasfilm, and he did that because and I've said this before on live streams, the Pixar group of artists and engineers wanted to make feature films, and George Lucas didn't want them to do that. He just wanted them to make special effects software and create special effects for his Star Wars franchise of films. And they had come so far along with the software that they were developing to do 3D effects that they knew that they could do at some point with the correct financial backing, they could do feature films. So they were super unhappy, and it was through the relationship with Steve Jobs that the Pixar people were able to free themselves of George Lucas, because Steve Jobs went to George Lucas and said, "Hey, look, your Pixar group employees are very unhappy, and they're gonna like bolt and just leave. So let me buy them from you." And Lucas ended up agreeing, and I think Steve Jobs paid only $1 million, or maybe it was $10 million. I can't remember now. It's probably like $10 million. And just then let Pixar do whatever they wanted to do. And they even told him, the Pixar employees told him, "Hey, Steve, before you go seal this deal with George Lucas, we just want to let you know, we have these ideas we think we can do, but you may never make your money back from this investment." But Steve Jobs was wealthy enough by that time that he said, "You know what, I don't care, I believe in you guys, I believe in your vision." And that's the key, is finding an ally that believes in your vision. So within a few years, Pixar had developed enough software and artistic talent that they were able to produce a series of short films, which I think you can see on Disney Plus, like Tin Toy and Red's Dream, I think there was about 6 of them. And then Tin Toy was the short animated 3D film that was the precursor to the movie Toy Story. And so Steve Jobs arranged a meeting between Pixar artists and executives and Disney artists and executives, and showed them the short film Tin Toy and explained the technology, and got Walt Disney Studios to underwrite, to pay for Toy Story to be made. And that's how that all came about. And then eventually Pixar became such an important part of Disney Studios, such an important financial gain. Like all these Pixar films from Toy Story on were making a ton of money, that Disney realized they could not do without Pixar. So they merged the two companies, and Pixar really ended up taking over all of Disney animation. And so Steve Jobs sold Pixar to Walt Disney Studios for a fortune, which made Steve Jobs the largest shareholder of Disney stock in the world. And after he passed away, after Steve Jobs passed away, then his wife became the largest shareholder of Walt Disney stock for a really long time. I don't think she is anymore, but she was for a long time. So that kind of shows you how, like, world changers, right? Somebody, I don't know who it was, like Krista, somebody used that term. World changers are some of the most important people, as long as they're changing the world for good, right? For a good thing. So Walt was a world changer. Steve Jobs was a world changer. There aren't that many people that are world changers that change the world for the good of all of us.
It's me, Tigger. I'm being safe. Tigger.
One.
Come on up, we're going to be row number 2.
Row 2. Hello, Tyler David. Hello, Lost Coyote. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. I hope it's nice in Sweden today. We're enjoying some slightly breezy, slightly cooler weather here in Southern California. It's currently 75 degrees here in Anaheim, California. And it looks like the clouds are just about burned off. It looks like we're gonna have blue sky for the rest of the day.
One blustery day in the 100-acre wood, a little bear named Winnie the Pooh set off in search of honey.
Look, Mama, look! I'm a kite! It's on tightly, Roo!
Happy Wednesday!
Well, Savior Piglet!
First the win, and now this.
Whee! This is fun!
Goodness gracious!
Follow me! Break this way! Steal honey, beware, beware. Have balance and moonful, have balance and moonful. What a wonderful dream!
Wake up, Pooh! Wake up! Wake up, Pooh!
It's your birthday.
It's time for your party, Paul.
Hooray! Happy birthday!
Hooray! Happy birthday!
Hip, hip, hooray!
I'm sure you'll find my present to be quite delicious.
Goodness gracious.
You'll never guess what it is.
The wonderful thing about you is you give the best presents.
Oh, sorry.
These are all
Look back on the knees, watch your step as you go. Out to the right.
All right, that was fun. So, an interesting thing about the property that Disneyland stands on is it's really far from downtown Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles and all of the areas that people lived in the late 1940s, early 1950s. Really far. And there were really no freeways at that time. I think maybe the 110 freeway had been built, which is a very short and small freeway that goes sort of from downtown Los Angeles to South Pasadena, and then later was increased to travel all the way down to the harbor of Los Angeles. Let's see if we can get on single rider here. But at the time when Walt Disney was looking, thank you. At the time when Walt Disney was purchasing land here in Anaheim, it took, about 3 hours to drive down here to Anaheim, because you were just driving down on streets and then eventually dirt roads.
All the way down that way.
Thank you. I think people are afraid to go on Town Bayou Adventure today because it's cooler than it had been in the summer. Wow, look at this. There is nobody in single rider. There's one person in single rider. We're going to be on this very quickly. But what Walt knew, and what the real estate agents that were helping him to secretly look for land knew, was that in 1947, the state of California had started the design of what would become the Golden State Freeway, also known as the 5 Freeway. And they had begun construction on it around 1949, although not down here by Anaheim. They had started the construction way north of Anaheim. And today, if you look at Disneyland from overhead, you can Google a map or something, you'll see that the 5 Freeway is at the very north end, the very top of Disneyland. So that area behind Toontown is the actual 5 Freeway that you can't see from inside the park. And Walt knew that once the freeway was completed, people would be able to get from anywhere in Southern California to Disneyland in a relatively short amount of time. But most people didn't know that. They weren't aware of that. So everybody thought he was crazy. Like, who's going to drive 2-3 hours or more to get to some theme park in the middle of a bunch of orange groves, in the middle of nowhere in Anaheim? But Walt was very smart. He understood that that freeway would bring people to the area.
Take 06, my friend.
Very good. I love it. Thank you. And so now most people do take the 5 Freeway to get to Disneyland if they have to take a freeway. Or they can take the 22, which is what I do, and then I just drive up Harbor Boulevard.
Alright, our next party, guys, gonna go up to that yellow line, side by side.
Single rider is just fantastic today. Oh boy, it's already wet down here. We're gonna get a little wet. Thank you.
I love your socks.
Oh, thanks. I got them at Dollar Tree for $1.25.
Oh, yeah?
Most people don't know me. Like every week, Dollar Tree gets new stuff in.
Yeah.
And they always have like Disney-inspired socks or cartoon-inspired. I bought them for all my daughters and for my wife too.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Oh, we'll have to do that.
What? Yeah, if you buy them here, you have to pay $15 per pair.
Yeah. So do you YouTube for Disney?
Pardon me?
Do you YouTube Disney stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
I love it. He listens to YouTube stuff all day long about Disney. Yeah.
Well, check me out. The name of the channel is Indiana Holmes.
Oh.
Like Sherlock Holmes, but Indiana Holmes.
Okay, we'll have to check it out.
The water's high today. We're gonna get really wet.
Hey, y'all! Thanks for helping me book the musicians for our party tonight. Lois, they're on their way.
And it's damn out here. Come on, wherever you are.
You don't? Well, that's all right, Louis. We're just hitting our stride.
All right, prepare to get wet.
Here we go.
Listen to this. These cats can burn.
They sure can play, but we've got to keep searching high and low.
Oh, Lord.
Let's get you back to your big, old, beautiful self.
Yeah, I didn't get wet on that one. Just the other one. I think I like this better more than the Disney World ones.
Oh, come on! Dude, I'm gonna get a big old splash on Lance with a square in my
I think Michael would like this one more too.
All right, that was fun. I'm only slightly soaked. Actually, I'm really soaked.
It's giving up with special people like you.
Exit to your left. Welcome back, buddy. You're almost there.
All right, we made it back alive.
Indiana Holmes.
Yeah, H-O-L-M-E-S, Holmes.
All right, we're gonna find it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, my friends, that was super fun. As crowded as it is today, we've been very lucky to get on several rides quickly because, in part, because of single rider. We got right on the Matterhorn, even though there was a huge line.
Follow me all the way down.
And then, of course, Winnie the Pooh never has too big of a line, so that wasn't bad. And then single rider here was super quick, just basically a walk-on. Really great.
Delicious magic from the Crescent City with all y'all.
Let's see if there's a picture of me here.
All right.
I see your shoulders.
There I am.
Oh yeah, one more picture.
I'll have to download that later.
Yellows. Oh, there we go. We're over here. Second to the top.
Let's go see if there's anything new over here in Lewis's Critter Club shop. They still have this shirt that they've had for over a year. I love this shirt. It's tempting to buy it, but I'm trying not to buy any more t-shirts because I just own too many t-shirts.
Yeah, you have that. You already have that board. Oh, Baymax is cute.
Ooh, let's see if they've got any interesting pins here. I know we looked at pins yesterday. Oh, the Mickey and Minnie hugging each other is really fun. And then Mickey and Minnie and Daisy Duck. Oh, and Goofy. And Donald. They're all in there. Look at that. Those are great. And then this is from their animated film, what was it? Oh, look, here we are again. I've forgotten the name of that film now. What was it? The Princess... I can't think of it. 101 Dalmatians. So gorgeous. I should buy all these dog pins because I love dogs. The yummiest candy store in the park is right here. Ooh, they got spooky ooky spider-webbed Mickey heads. Oh, I love this backpack. So the land that we are on here, where the 100-acre wood is here, if you've never noticed it before, I mean, a lot of people, they go on the rides, but they don't pay attention to everything. This is the 100-acre wood, as Disneyland has recreated it from the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh book. You can see where Owl lives up here. I think that's Winnie the Pooh's house right there. Got some nice mallard ducks here. Oh, there's Eeyore. Anyway, this land here, right here, where we have the Winnie the Pooh ride and what used to be Splash Mountain, now it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and further down by the river. And then over here, where we have the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree restaurant. This land here was all, just north of the Haunted Mansion. But when the park first opened, this was part of the Native American village, where Walt hired real Native Americans, not people, not white folks, not Caucasian folks in face paint, but actually Native American people. And they had teepees here, and they had Native American village where they performed Native American rituals and dances and performed in all their regalia. And he really celebrated the Native American culture here. That is all gone now as the park kept expanding. Some of those early attractions had to move or end, and now we just have some celebration, some small celebration of Native American culture with the animatronics that you see along the river when you're on the Columbia sailing ship or when you're on the Mark Twain. Speaking of which, I hear the Mark Twain coming. I always love to see it. Hi. Let's see. I can go down here and take a look at it as it comes into view. I'm just over the top of the big canoes here. It's the Davy Crockett canoes. I think they've been called that the entire time they've been here. Well, thank you, Krista. Look, isn't that beautiful watching the Mark Twain come into view just past all of these bushes and trees with Tom Sawyer Island across the way with the remnants of a pirate ship on the outcropping of rocks there just in front of the ship now. And now the Mark Twain coming with its steam engines. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. It just makes you feel like you're on the Natchez or the Mississippi River down south. So great. What a beautiful ship that is. Okay, back on the path we go. It's so great to see so many people here today on a Monday. I mean, that just shows you, you know, how one person's vision can impact so many millions of people. Walt started with his cartoons, with his little short animated films, entertaining people in dark movie theaters, a few hundred or maybe 1,000 people at a time. And then that grew to tens of thousands and then millions of people enjoying Walt Disney films, animated and live action, and combined live action and animation like in Mary Poppins. And then he rolled the dice on Disneyland, building something that everybody said he was going to lose all of his fortune on and lose all of his credibility and destroy his image. But what he did was he proved everybody wrong. And Disneyland only increased the love for all things Disney. It only increased Disneyland's impact on the world. Okay, it says 45 minutes for Haunted Mansion, but the line is all the way outside of the entrance. So I am guessing that's going to be longer than 45. It's probably going to be an hour, maybe longer. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. Maybe we'll take a trip on the train. I don't see anybody at the train station. Let's see, is it not running today? Oh, the train must not be running. They have chains up at the entrance to the train. That is funny. Yeah, I noticed that when I came into the park, I was thinking about just jumping on the train like I did on, what was it, Wednesday or Friday when I was here? And then I noticed there was no trains coming across like I usually see at the station on Main Street. So there must be some issue today. I mean, they have multiple trains, they have multiple locomotives and strings of train cars, so it is interesting.
That's how looking good in my car.
Just take a little stroll through New Orleans Square. See if we catch the Bootstrappers Band or maybe Tiana. Yeah, so Walt proved them all wrong. His vision was, it's like he knew what the public wanted before they knew it. This is something, again, going back to Steve Jobs of Apple Computer. He always bucked the trend. And, you know, what Steve Jobs said is that we need to build things, design things, make things, produce things that people don't know they need. People don't yet know they need because they haven't been invented. And that's exactly what he did. When Steve Jobs invented the new smartphone, prior to that we only had feature phones, which means they could only really do text. Look at these are great ears. Oh my gosh, I might have to get these. Oh my gosh, but then I'd have to wear them on my hat somehow. That is super cool. Oh my gosh, that is super cool. I love it. I love it. I have to show these to Lizzie and see if she can make me this. I know she can. She just doesn't always have the time to do that stuff. She's super busy. Oh, look at this backpack with the people from Pirates of the Caribbean, the pirate prisoners. I love it. So, you know, Walt did the same thing. He envisioned a theme park in a way that theme parks didn't exist. They only had like circuses and boardwalk style amusement parks. And well, everybody's in line here to take a picture with Jack Skellington. Oh my gosh, the line for Pirates of the Caribbean is huge. Yeah, so I wonder, you know, it's unfortunate Steve Jobs isn't still alive. You know, he died of, I think it was pancreatic cancer. But I wonder if he took any inspiration in his business dealings from Walt Disney. I wonder if they even, well, he wouldn't have known him because Walt passed away probably when Steve Jobs was maybe not even born. He might have been 1 year old or 2 years old. So they couldn't have known each other. But I know that Steve Jobs had a big imagination, like Walt, and his idea was to make things that were new improve on things that were already in existence and make them new again and change the world. Steve Jobs' motto was, as was famously portrayed in a commercial for Apple Computer, his motto was "Think differently," and I think that's what Walt did also. Walt thought differently long before Steve Jobs was even out of diapers. Oh, can I have a single rider, please? Thank you.
Put it on? How do you do that?
Thank you. All right, doing single rider again. Thank you. Single rider on Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. Okay, we're getting down to 25% battery. So I'm gonna have to stop for a moment and plug in my battery so that I don't run out of battery. So hang on a second here. I'll do this when I get up to this little ledge here, and then I can set my camera tripod down to do that.
Maybe not the ground?
Okay, here's the perfect little ledge for me. Interesting monster noises coming out of the Jungle Cruise just there behind me.
Now do you feel better, Claire?
Who else can you guys think of that changed the world significantly, either in technology, in architecture, in entertainment? Thomas Edison obviously changed the world significantly with all of his inventions and his way of creating electricity and distributing it so we could all have electricity. I would say Henry Ford was another whom Walt Disney admired a lot, who changed the world of transportation with his automobiles, where he made automobiles affordable and could build them quickly on the production line that he invented. Frank Gehry, for sure. Frank Gehry, interesting that you would say Frank Gehry, because he designed the Walt Disney Opera House in downtown Los Angeles, which is a beautiful structure. I've taken many photos of it there, including photos with models and stuff, using that as a backdrop. Hello. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, it's so dark over here. Albert Einstein, absolutely, for science, right? Frank Lloyd Wright, absolutely, Krista. Frank Lloyd Wright, he definitely thought differently. He completely upended the world of architecture, both for single-family homes as well as for tall buildings and skyscrapers. Yes, genius. Dr. Seuss, that's another good one. Yeah, it did sound like a lion, but a very scary lion, right? Okay, Krista, when you have to go, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us today. Amazing, Ginny B, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so that you don't miss any of my live streams. I usually live stream Wednesdays, Fridays, and then with my wife Lizzie on Sundays. Lizzie's a former Disney animator. She worked on The Lion King. That was her first film, and her last film was The Princess and the Frog. So it's always fun when she comes along too. But I come by myself on Wednesdays and Fridays, and today I came on Monday because yesterday Lizzie and I couldn't get into the park because they didn't have our reservation in their system for some reason. I will be here again tomorrow, at least for the morning, because I got to get my fill of Disney. You know, when some people look for things to do in the world, they take up golf or tennis, or they get into the hobby of model trains or gardening or who knows what. For me, I like making videos, and I love Disney and Disneyland and all things Disney. So I come to the park 2 to 3 times a week because I'm retired and I can do so. This is like fulfilling my childhood dream of working at Disneyland. When I was growing up, Disneyland was too far away. When I was a teenager, I lived in Glendale, and that was easily an hour away from Disneyland. And in traffic, in heavy traffic, Disneyland could be an hour and a half away from Glendale to Disneyland. So I never could work at Disneyland. As I was growing up, I lived with my folks, right? And we lived in Glendale, originally Los Angeles. But now that I'm an adult and I've retired, I get to come here all the time because I only live about 30 minutes away now by freeway. I think, we're talking about Walt Disney and Steve Jobs of Apple Computer. They shared a lot of different things, like highly successful creative people do. They were both very imaginative, inventive, and when they got an idea in their head, they pursued it with everything they had and put all their resources behind it. They could also be quick to temper, meaning they could get angry quickly, but only for short periods of time, as they often felt, both of them, often felt that people didn't understand their vision or didn't support their vision and needed to prod people along as in the construction of Disneyland. It's hard to believe, but all of Disneyland, with the exception of some of the newer areas like Toontown didn't exist, and of course the Star Wars Land of Galaxy's Edge didn't exist, but all of Main Street, Tomorrowland, Frontierland, Adventureland, and Fantasyland were built while Walt was the head of the company and was building this. And you know, there's many accounts by many people that worked here on the park, both construction workers, electricians, plumbers, and artists, painting and designing and developing either in the wood shop or the machine shop. They are many accounts. Thank you. There are many accounts that are written down and shared with us, the public, of Walt becoming very impatient and sometimes a little bit angry or upset when things were going too slowly here at the park. Because he had a mission. He had put all of his money into this park, and he had a short amount of time to turn it around. So the park was built unbelievably in 1 year.
That would be dangerous. Very dangerous. Well, my friends, your moment is drawing near. Already
it's actually really cold in here today.
If you avoid the eyes of Mara, that is.
Oh yeah, Main Street Paul, that's gonna be fun, that's right. Yeah, Main Street Paul and I are gonna collab and hang out next Monday here at the park. That's gonna be exciting.
And the new vacation hotspot is Temple of the Forbidden Eye. Everyone's agog over this intriguing discovery by famed archaeologist Indiana Jones. They've heard rumors that it rewards visitors with unlimited riches, eternal youth, or visions of the future. There's just one little hitch, the ancient temple idol. If you so much as peek into its eyes,
it was not uncommon for Walt Disney to butt heads with his older brother, Roy Disney, because Roy Disney was the financial genius that helped Walt realize his dreams.
Maybe you can tell us who will win the World Series.
Walt, you know, the family was a pretty big family, the Disney family. When Walt and Roy were young boys, Walt was the youngest, and Roy was, I think, 9 years older than him, and they actually shared a bed for many years. Growing up, because they didn't have enough beds and bedrooms for the entire family.
Treasures when the journey becomes bumpy. And to keep you safe and sound, here are special belts
Roy would
attached
take
into
care of
the
his little
seats.
brother Walt and
the
try to
right,
keep him
inserting
safe.
it
And
into the left,
one time,
like so.
Walt, at age 5,
You see
found
the
a
excellence
knife,
of this invention?
like a folding knife, on the ground when they were just walking around town one day. And he picked it up and wanted to keep it, and Roy took it away from him and said, "No, you're too young. You're going to hurt yourself. You can't have that knife right now." And Walt never forgot that. He always remembered that Roy looked out for him, but he didn't always agree with the way that Roy looked out for him, right? But they loved each other, and we wouldn't have the Disney studio, we wouldn't have Sleeping Beauty, we wouldn't have Disneyland if it were not for Roy, because Roy was the financial genius. And we wouldn't have Disney World or Epcot Center because Walt passed away before Roy and Walt had even bought the land in Florida. But you know, Roy, who was always more conservative with money and always took care of the money, he could have easily decided not to build Disney World after Walt passed away. But Roy was such a faithful, loving brother that he honored Walt's wishes, and even after Walt had passed away, Roy went ahead and purchased the land in Florida and built Disney World and Epcot Center in the same vision that Walt had originally created for it. Hello, Ace Snoopy. Good to see you, my friend. Well, that's the most important thing, Ace. We share the love for Disney and Disneyland, But while you're at your current age, on your current path, school is the most important thing. I gave up. I gave up many opportunities for different things in my life to complete my college education. I'm so glad I did, because it afforded me a career that I loved, and it afforded me all the things that I have and a way to support my wife and my children. So Ace, your thing. Sometimes you've got to put other things aside and just focus on your schooling. Thank you, Matthew, for that clarification. I appreciate that.
Buenos días. Su vehículo está por llegar. Para que disfruten de un viaje seguro, permanezcan sentados con el cinturón de seguridad bien ajustado y mantengan las manos.
I remember, Ace, when you were doing something like 80-some nights in a row at Disneyland. That was epic, man. I really enjoyed tuning into you at night. But I know you've been there not as frequently lately, or getting to the park much later. But that's okay, because the important thing is to get through college and reach your goals, get that degree, and get a good job, so that you too can live your life the way you wish.
Very important. For your safety, must remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Make sure to keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport. Watch your children. And remember, no matter what, don't gaze into the eyes of the idol.
When we're talking about people that changed the world, we can't ignore George Lucas, because he changed science fiction forever. Previous to Star Wars, science fiction was a much more serious type of writing, both in books and in movies. And science fiction more directly tackled and commented on events of the world, whether it was nuclear arms or challenges of one's conscience. Science fiction was a different thing. When Star Wars came out, science fiction became a more fun type of genre, one that had comedy in it, one that had love stories in it, and one that fought the evil empire. That was a different thing. So George Lucas definitely changed the world.
You'll go on road trip with our family right there, okay?
Okay. And if there was no George Lucas, there likely would not have been a Pixar, which means we wouldn't have had a Toy Story, we wouldn't have had 3D modeling and animation as early as we did. It would have been years later. Okay, won't be talking during the ride, so you guys just enjoy your time in the chat.
Are you there? Come in. Splendid. You have only to check your seat straps. Buckle up tightly now. your transport comes to a complete stop. Yes,
All right. If you don't feel awake by the time you get done with Indiana Jones, the Temple of the Forbidden Eye ride through, then you will not be awake the rest of the day. That really wakes you up, shakes you around. But then, of course, I had Matterhorn to wake me up earlier, and that really woke me up. Getting on all the good rides. Too bad that it's too bad that Big Thunder Mountain isn't open. Although I don't know, maybe it's reopened, but I doubt it. It didn't look like it was anywhere near being open on Friday when I was here. Like, we've been doing roller coasters. Got on the Matterhorn, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is like a roller coaster, but it's a water flume ride. And then Indiana Jones, which is like a roller coaster, except they're individual Jeeps. They give you that same kind of excitement. So the ideal thing would be to follow this up with Big Thunder Mountain, but I do believe it's still under renovation. I can't check because I only have one phone here, and I can't check the Disney app to see ride times or what is open or what is closed. Just walking out. What an awesome day. This is like the perfect temperature today. This is like late spring temperatures. Very nice. It was brutally hot the last month or so, the month of August, and maybe the last week of July. My phone was overheating, I was overheating. I was drinking massive quantities of fluids to stay on my feet. But now it's just so nice out. Yeah, Jungle Cruise, I love it. We'll take a look at the wait time for Jungle Cruise. The temple right there. The temple entrance. The entrance to the queue. This looks like it's from World War I era. Looks like a 1918 Mercedes diesel.
Across, fill the space as you go.
Thank you.
Fill the space.
Oh yeah, it is busy. Boy, I'm so thankful that they have single rider. Excuse me. Anybody see that Indiana Fever versus Las Vegas Aces game last night? It was amazing, spectacular, so exciting. It was great. Okay, 30 minutes for Jungle Cruise. I'm gonna skip that. I usually don't go on that unless it's 20 minutes or less. This is like a Friday evening. That's how many people are here today. It's crazy. Hey, so folks, I do have another channel for those of you that are interested in classic books, classic stories. My other channel is called Storytime with Indiana Holmes. I actually started that as a playlist here on this channel. In fact, that playlist is still here. But I started out just reading books in front of my piano at my house, recording them 1 hour at a time and then uploading them. And then I found the audio wasn't all that great in the way that I was doing it. So I eventually switched over. Once my daughter moved out of the house, I repainted and redid her bedroom into a little studio and got a professional mic set up and professional audio equipment and cameras and so on. And I then launched the second channel, which is Storytime with Indiana Holmes. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, this year we read Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, House on Pooh Corner, Alice in Wonderland, some Grimm's Fairy Tales, Dr. Moreau, The Island of Dr. Moreau. Oh look, the band is playing over there. Let's go check that out. Let's see, we read the Island of Dr. Moreau, Treasure Island, The Red Harvest, which is sort of a murder mystery thing. We're currently in the middle of reading A Silent Witness on the other channel, which is sort of a detective noir murder mystery. And I will begin reading The Great Gatsby soon. So if you want to listen to those, it's kind of like audiobooks, except you get to see me sitting there and reading, or you can just listen. Check it out. That was fun getting to see them play Star Wars themed music.
Just until the band goes on by.
Oh, the band went the other way. I was trying to See, I thought they were going to come around this way. I was going to catch them marching past us, but turns out they went the other way. Here are our annual Disney-inspired jack-o'-lanterns. Jack Skellington representing New Orleans Square. We've got Tarzan here representing Adventureland with the Adventureland Treehouse. We've got Woody from Toy Story representing Frontierland. Of course, we've got Tiana representing Bayou Country. And of course, we can never forget Tinkerbell representing Fantasyland. And of course, our favorite Roger Rabbit representing Toontown. And the ever brave Buzz Lightyear representing Tomorrowland. These are lit up at night. They're really cool. I'll have to come at night to show you guys. I usually come in the daytime, but sometimes I come at night. What time is the cavalcade coming, Josie? 1:30. Thank you so much. Oh, 7 minutes. Might just hang out and wait then. Yeah, it's gonna come right through here, right? Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna wait for the cavalcade. I mean, what the heck, why not, right? Let's wait for the cavalcade. Let's see, the sun is on my side, so that's good. This will be a good viewpoint here as the cavalcade comes down because the sun will be shining on them. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day today. It's nice being posted up here across from Tomorrowland. Is anybody sitting here? Thank you. I actually got a seat here. That's fun. It's rare that I get a seat at Disneyland, but there was a bench here that nobody was using. Just a young lady and maybe her sister or friend. So that gave me an opportunity to sit down, which is nice. Look at those beautiful Astro, I want to say Astro Blasters, but they're not Astro Blasters, the rockets, the Astro Orbiters. Looks like we're getting some drop frames here. I can look at the Astro Orbiter and it looks a little jumpy. I am guessing that we just have so many people in the park today on their cell phones that it is taxing those towers, those cell towers, greatly. This thing over here is a mystery. Let me zoom in on it. Just to the left, over here, behind this wall, this has been up here for years now. I want to say since before the pandemic, I think, since like 2019 maybe. That wall has been there all the way around there. They've repainted it a few times, but I have no idea what it's hiding. I'm guessing that it's hiding some kind of a pump or something. I mean, I know that we have projection, but they work on, you know, they come up out of the ground and they have, you know, big tall poles like telephone poles, except made of steel with giant projectors on the project on things. But that is too far away and too far of an angle from the Sleeping Beauty Castle over there. So I can't figure out what it would be. And there's nothing else to project on. I mean, maybe projecting onto the Matterhorn is sort of in line with that. It's possible. I've never been up this way to see if anything comes up out of there. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. This is Indiana Holmes, your guide and friend today at Disneyland. We've been live streaming for almost 2.5 hours, and we started out our day going on a few different rides. I went on the Matterhorn followed by, let's see, after the Matterhorn, I think I went on Smuggler's Run, and then from Smuggler's Run, went on Winnie the Pooh, and then Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and then Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. Maybe a couple other things I've forgotten. So if you want to see any of those ride-throughs, you can wind back or rewind this live stream to see some of those ride-throughs. Haven't made my way over into Tomorrowland yet. Usually when I get here by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll go to Astro Blasters in Tomorrowland first and try to improve on my score. And then I might go over to Star Tours. But it was very busy when I got here today, so started out with some different rides than I would usually take. Excuse me if I'm not replying to your texts. It's difficult to read the texts out here in the sun. Let me see if I can get an angle where I can see it better. Get my other glasses out. Let's see. I don't know, maybe somebody can answer that if you're in Orlando or in Florida somewhere. I don't know what the weather's like in Orlando, but it had rained here a little bit over the weekend, but now it's nice and sunny. It was completely overcast and cloudy earlier today, and then the sun broke through here at Disneyland. Ryan, what are we eating today? I don't know, I am getting a little hungry. I'm thinking about Rancho del Zocalo again, but then I also like Tiana's Palace, so I'm considering that as well. Hello, Lost Coyote. Just scrolling back through the chat here to see who's here and what you've had to say. In as much as I haven't been able to read the chat for a while, but now that I'm sitting on a bench, it's a little easier. Okay, hey Main Street Paul, that sounds like a plan. 11 a.m. is perfect for me. I'll meet you at the Main Street station of the Disneyland Main Street Railroad Station at 11 a.m. That sounds good. I'll meet you maybe at the top of the stairs there.
And then she's like, I'm gonna tell the manager.
Yes, I didn't read this earlier. Ace is probably back at work or school, but he mentioned in the chat here, Dodgers made the wild card series, and yes, they did. The Dodgers are in the playoffs, just like the Indiana Fever.
He's coming around the corner right now.
Ooh yeah, that'll be cool when Animal Kingdom gets Indiana Jones. Alrighty, just hanging out. We're waiting for the cavalcade, which started just a few seconds ago up near Small World. So it should be coming down here in just a few moments, and then we'll catch the cavalcade. Where is everybody at today? I saw that we had Elizabeth from Sweden here earlier. I'm sure we have some Florida folks and some Arizona folks. Anybody else? I know we had somebody from Indianapolis. What other states or countries do we have on the live stream with us today? You can type your city, state, or country down in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Should only be a few more minutes and we'll have the cavalcade coming down. We'll see all of our friends in their full costumes. You'll notice that the costumed characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Chip and Dale, Goofy, Pluto, you'll notice that they're going to be in Halloween-inspired costumes for the rest of September and October. So you'll see a lot of orange, yellow, black, sometimes green. All right, Matthew's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Kane is in Colorado. Good to have you guys here. Welcome. What's the temperature in Las Vegas like today? Are we in the 80s over there? Colorado's probably getting a little cooler. I bet you guys are in the high 60s. What's the temperature in your area? Colorado is possibly my favorite state after California. I love Colorado. I used to go horseback riding there when I was a kid. Santa Maria, awesome. I have cousins in Santa Maria, the Patinos. John Patino, and I forgot his wife's name, but she used to be the mayor of Santa Maria for a lot of years. 82 degrees in Vegas. Well, that's nice. That's a good temperature for Vegas. I don't like it when it gets hotter than that. I'm usually good to about 84, 85 degrees. Over that, I start to melt and wilt. I'm good anywhere between like 68 degrees and about 84 degrees. That's my perfect temperatures. '77 in Denver. That's a nice temperature for Denver. Can get very cold there in late fall, early winter, and throughout the winter, but then you guys have great skiing. Alice Patino, yes. That is my cousin by marriage. John Patino, her husband, is my direct cousin. I don't know how many years she was mayor. I don't know if she still is. They're getting on in years. They're quite a bit older than I am. I was one of the youngest people, one of the last people born in my family. My cousin Daryl Patino and myself are the same age, and we're the youngest people in the family from the original aunts and uncles. But John Patino, who's my cousin, is old enough to be my father, really. I don't get up there to see them too often. I think the last time I saw them was, well, they came down here for John Patino's sister's wedding anniversary. And so Alice and John Patino came down for a big family gathering of Patinos a few years ago. That was the last time I saw them. Wow, well, Alice must have been the mayor for a really long time. It seems like 20 years or something. I know they have a big rodeo there. John Patino, my cousin, and his father, John Patino Sr., they were always into horses and had ranches, small ranches, with horses that they would take as foals, as young horses, and break them, and then use them on the ranches, and then use them in rodeo shows as well. All right, here we go. Celebrate time. All right, cavalcade coming our way. I can see them around the corner there, over by the Matterhorn. Yes, it is Toshiba. I used to have a neighbor that lived across the street from me, and he was Japanese, and his name was Toshi. I don't know if his full name was Toshiba, but he always introduced himself to everybody as Toshi. Here they come, guys. Coming into view here momentarily. All right. It's Walt's favorite vehicle, the Disneyland fire engine with Pluto and Goofy on it. Here comes Mickey, Minnie, Chippendale, and Donald. And here comes Prince Naveen, the Genie, Peter Pan, the Mad Hatter.
Oh, nice hat!
I like yours too! And then up top, we've got more. Ooh, down below we have Pocahontas. Ooh, here comes the evil queen. And the princesses and some villains. It's good to see villains around Halloween time. That was super fun. Oh, you got the new phone! How do you like it? I ordered mine. Oh, nice. Oh, that was super fun. It's always great when you get to see the characters, especially in the cavalcade. I enjoy that more than standing in line and waiting to take a photo with them, because you burn so much time just standing in line to take a photo when you can see them go by in a cavalcade or a parade. It's kind of more exciting for me. It's starting to feel warm now. It's now 78 degrees here at Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
What did I do?
So if you were with me earlier at the beginning of our broadcast today, you learned of the German connection of the German families that founded Anaheim, and they founded it to be a town for their wine business. They were starting a winery. Let's see what the time is. 30 minutes for Astro Blasters. I do love Astro Blasters. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out where we get in here. 30 minutes is a long time for Astro Blaster, but I might try it. Although I'm going to be in the sun the whole time. You know what? I'm not going to do it. It's going to be too long to be stuck in the sun. I like doing Astro Blasters in the morning. Hey, Main Street Paul, when I meet up with you on Monday, are you going to be dressed in some type of Halloween-inspired clothing? Like colors of orange and black or anything like that? I'll show you the shirt I have on right now. Let me see, I'll get this on wide angle. Yeah. Here's my shirt. That's my Mickey Jack-o'-lantern shirt. Oh wow, this is the second time in 12 months, I want to say, that they have started working on this area and walled it off. The last time was for the stage area. Now they've walled off all this section where you sit and eat. The sound engineers and the lighting engineers run their soundboard and their lighting boards. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, they have taken the entire stage area and back into the seating area and walled it off for some reason. Interesting. Really interesting. Let's walk back here and take a look at Autotopia. The line doesn't look too bad, but you never can tell until you're up there. Welcome, my friends. This is Indiana Holmes. Happy to see you guys here today. I'll turn the camera around so I can do a proper hello. Hello, everybody. Indiana Holmes here. Having a beautiful day at Disneyland. If you missed any of the ride-throughs today, please feel free to rewind this live stream so that you too can experience the Matterhorn, Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, and all the other rides we went on, like Smuggler's Run. Just gonna head up to Autotopia and take a look at that. So just about anywhere you stand out here in Tomorrowland is going to be in the sun now. Let's see, it says it's only a 5-minute wait. How is that possible? I'll give it a shot. 5 minutes. It's probably gonna be longer, but usually you see the line all the way back here. So what does this tell you? What does this inform you of? It informs you of the fact, well, most rides are now 30 minutes to an hour or more of standby time, and Autotopia is only just a few minutes. It kind of informs you that the interest in the Autotopia attraction is waning. It is not as popular as it used to be 20 years ago. I like these old signs that change like this. Of course, the under 16 group of people who cannot yet drive real automobiles probably still love Autotopia. But I think it's becoming less popular. I wonder if they'll ever redevelop Autotopia. I mean, it takes up a huge chunk of land here at Tomorrowland. Probably, I'm guessing, the largest chunk of land in Autotopia is, rather in Tomorrowland, is Autotopia. So if they were going to redevelop this, you know, maybe this would be the perfect place for the Avatar land. Because Avatar, being about science fiction and aliens and space, could be made into a spectacular land if they decided to level all of Autotopia and turn it into Avatar land. They could probably even put 2 rides back here in this land. Hello, Leslie from Pittsburgh. Thank you for joining us and sharing in our live stream today. Disneyland Railroad has been offline all day since I got here. I did see some engineers standing by the entrance a ways back though, so I wonder if they're going to start rolling the train again within the next half hour or so. Okay, this is no longer a 5-minute line. This line's a little bit longer now. There goes the monorail off in the distance. All right, they're bringing the line on down, moving us through a little bit. I still love Autotopia. I love driving through the track that they built for Autotopia. It's so scenic and beautiful, and it really does make you feel like you're driving through a city and through the countryside, albeit the cars are quite wily. They are not as precision and as controllable as a real car, but I think that's part of the fun, is they want it to be wiggly and make you have to work hard to get the cars to function.
We could literally put it on there for 3 minutes.
What is Disneyland like? It is pure joy, Leslie. Pure joy. But it is very busy today for a Monday. It feels like a Friday afternoon.
Remember to keep at least one car
Are you guys together?
you and the car in front of you. And please, do not bump other cars or stop on the track. Thanks. I'll see you on the road. Hola, conductores. Yo soy Bert. Para un paseo seguro, permanezcan sentados con el cinturón de seguridad bien ajustado, manteniendo sus manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Y cuiden a los niños.
Hey Mark, how was Not Scary Farm? I've never been. My daughters have gone many times, but I've never gone because, I don't know, it just feels to me like I'm not going to be entertained by a bunch of actors in scary makeup, jumping out at you like jump scares. But I'd like to know what you thought of it. And also, they don't let you record your ride-throughs on the Knott's Berry Farm rides. So that kind of puts a damper on it for me, because I like to record my experiences doing ride-throughs.
Austin, you should go
Yes, the Autotopia cars are going electric, which I think is a good thing. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what they're going to look like. I hope they completely replace these cars with something different, and so that they look different. I'm guessing they will. And electric cars being basically silent, I feel like they're going to have to put speakers in the cars to give us some kind of a sound, to make them sound fun. So it could be exciting. This is interesting. I always end up on the other side of the Autotopia loading dock. This will be the first time I'm on this side of the Autotopia loading dock. I think in my whole life I've never been on this side of the loading dock. Okay, it's starting to feel warm here now. It is 62% humidity and 78 degrees. I think that's why it feels a little bit warmer than the actual temperature, because the humidity level here is 62%, which is pretty high. I live near the beach, and the humidity level there is always between like 45 and 55%. So 62% is pretty high humidity. Okay, so you went through a lot of mazes, and you're saying they were packed full of people, huh? Well, I'm glad you had fun with it. I'm not sure it would be fun for me. I probably won't go. We'll see. Halloween, my plan is to go to one of my neighbor's houses. He is a party planner, and he puts on the best parties in the world. He's a party planner. He has a huge house with a huge front yard, and he decorates the whole front yard really spooky and scary with spider webs and skeletons and all kinds of stuff. I mean, his front yard is big enough to put my whole house on. And then his house is really big, and he decorates the entire inside of the house. I think he takes like 2 or 3 weeks to decorate the outside and inside of the house, like working every day at it. And then he has all kinds of scary looking food that's actually yummy food, but it looks like blood and guts and bones and stuff like that, skeletons. And on top of being a party planner, John is also an amazing DJ. He has quite the amazing DJ setup, and he has a big dance floor in his house, and he likes to spin the tunes, and we all dance in costumes. So that's what I'll be doing Halloween. I know, I'm really lucky to have a friend like John, who is such an amazing guy, so talented, and puts on the best parties.
30 all day. Because it's light. I'm not gonna stay
Oh, you can't even stream the mazes at Knott's? Yeah, then I'm definitely not going. Yeah, it's like, I love Knott's Berry Farm. I have an annual membership there. My wife and I go, and I'll occasionally like pull my cell phone out and record some stuff. But 2 things. It's got a lot of very intense roller coasters, and my wife Lizzie loves roller coasters, so she's in heaven. But roller coasters that go upside down, like do loops, like the one we have here at California Adventure and Credit Coaster, and like so many of the roller coasters at Knott's Berry Farm, they just kind of make me ill. Like they make me kind of dizzy and nauseous. So I usually go to Knott's Berry Farm to see the entertainment and eat, and go on the kiddie rides, like over in Camp Snoopy. And then I just watch Lizzie ride the really big roller coasters. Hi.
Hello, together separate. Separate. You're gonna go number 6 on green.
6 on green. All right, heading down to number 6 on green. Oh, this will be interesting. I never drive on this side of the Autotopia track. It's always on the other side over there. This is, I think, the very first time I've ever been on this left-hand side. This was a pretty quick standby line. It said 5 minutes, but I think it was. Where you're not allowed to record or hold anything in your hand while you're going through the ride. I don't know why, but I'm guessing it has something to do with people stop and find the things that were dropped and then fetch them and stop the ride for everybody and then restart. That's my guess. So if you want to see any ride-throughs of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, just search my channel and just type in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. I've made several videos. And of course, many live streams of it. But now I can't live stream on that anymore or even record because... 6? 6 on green. Yeah, right here. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see what color I will get here today. Okay, I have to wait for all these cars to go through. Here we go. That's kind of an interesting color. It's like a brown, almost maroon. I think it's like a maroon color. Dark maroon. Interesting. Let's see, another dark maroon one. That's wild. And then a green one following that. Looks like I might have a green car. Well, these green cars look like they're battle worn. Their paint job on them has kind of worn down. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be in a green car. This one here. Alrighty, I guess we're getting in.
No bumping, okay? Stay in the car at all times.
Sounds good.
When that car goes, you're good to go.
All right, sounds good.
How many viewers we got?
Today, there's about 100 with me right at the moment.
Nice.
All right. Gabriel says hi. There's Gabriel right there.
Hi, guys. Hope you guys have a good day.
Yeah, it's been fun.
You been here all day?
I got here about 11 o'clock.
Okay,
not too long ago. Busy day for Monday,
yeah,
right?
I was literally saying that to one of my fellow passengers. I was like, busy day for Monday.
Yeah. All right, see you later, Gabriel. Have a good day. This was the most fun thing. I only came to Disneyland like twice in my life when I was a child, because it was far from where we lived and expensive. Although not expensive like it is today. But bringing a family of 6 for my dad was probably a bit spendy. So I only came here a couple times, and I think I rode Autotopia both times. The third time I came was when I was 17 for grad night with my then girlfriend and a bunch of my friends. They gave us the silver card, so we got to come to Disney parks for free. So then we started coming a lot more often. A pretty late time of the day for me to do Autotopia, because usually the line for Autotopia is at least 30 minutes and often 55 minutes at this time of the day. So usually I do this first thing in the morning when I do it. Oh yeah, this is interesting. So here we're over here by the duck pond that used to be a boat ride. So yeah, this is a little bit different than the way I would normally be on this track. Change lenses here. There we go, a little closer view. Just putting along. I'm hoping when they turn these cars electric that they give it some kind of like a really good sound, like 1950s hot rod motor engines, or if not that, then maybe like Indy car or NASCAR sounding engines. Of course, it'll all be artificial. They'll have to pump those through speakers, but it should sound a lot better if they choose to do that than these little lawnmower engines that run these. These are little Honda lawnmower engines that run these cars. I think the fastest you can go on these is about 7 miles an hour. It's nice out here though, I'm getting a nice breeze as we go through here. But see how big this land is here? I mean, not land, but how much land there is for this one attraction. If they leveled all this and made this into an Avatar land or something else, they could easily get 2 big, dark attractions in here and still have an outdoor walk-through attraction like Avatar in Florida. We'll see what they do, but so far, the word is that they're going to change these cars to electric cars in 2026. So that means they're not getting rid of Autotopia anytime soon. is a so cool. Ah, it's a nice breeze up here too. Really nice. And then there's this big giant thing here, which is currently just a Disney Vacation Club terrace. Only level that and do something else with it. They're just kind of using it for storage right now, and then to give the Disney Vacation Club members a place. They used to have America Sings in there, and you would see America, or what represented America in Disney's eyes, as the changing decades went by. There it is right there. So this giant, huge thing, they call it Star Wars Launch Bay now, but they really don't use it for anything other than if you're a Disney Vacation Club member, you get to go up on the balcony up there, up on the massive piece of real estate. They could redevelop these into something really special. Innovations, right. That's right, at one point they called it Innovations. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that they're gonna do Avatar in DCA, but you know, there's just not that much land over there. I think they'll have to take out all of Hollywood Studios, which is, you know, a small area where Monsters Inc. is, and then that big sound stage they never do anything with. But it's still not a lot of land, whereas over here, this is a massive amount of land. This area here in Tomorrowland, where Autotopia is and where Innovations used to be, this is much bigger than the area that they are expanding backstage for the expansion of Avengers Campus, and bigger than that area where they are going to put Avatar. It's like you could combine both the backstage area where they're going to build the expansion of Avengers Campus and the area where Avatar is going to be. And both of those areas, in my opinion, are not as big as the amount of land we have back here that could be redeveloped. All right, let's check out some merch in here. That's a cute sweater. Oh my gosh. I gotta show that to Lizzie. She's making a really cool vest right now. She's crocheted the vest and she's edging it. It's a black vest, crocheted, and she's edging it with orange and spider webs too. That's really cute. Oh my gosh, she's gonna love that. I have to show that to her. That collar is awesome. Lizzie's the most creative person. She is such a creative artist and craftsperson. Haha, this is fun. I should get that for my friend. My friend Frank's a big Star Wars nerd, probably the biggest Star Wars fan I know. He would love that. That's kind of cool. Ah, an Avatar experience, not a land, yeah. I'm so sad that Monsters Inc. is leaving. I've never been a fan of Avatar. It's not that I have anything against Avatar. I couldn't get into it. I think I made it through like maybe 30 minutes of Avatar, like 2 or 3 different times, and I could just never get past that. It was just like not my thing. I just didn't enjoy it. Like the way the Avatar people looked, they were, I don't know, just somehow I just couldn't get excited about them. Kind of like Mandalorian. I know this is sacrilege to anybody who's a Star Wars fan, but I just can't get into Mandalorian. I've tried multiple times, but not being able to see the actor's face and expressions just kills it for me. This is a cool water bottle. But I do love Grogu because you can see Grogu's expressions. That's the main reason. Oh, look at this. This is a cool backpack. Oh my gosh, what a cool backpack. The Force is strong with this one. Yeah, there aren't enough attractions in a DCA. The one thing DCA has going for it is they've got the World of Color at night, which is fantastic. That's a fantastic water projection show. They have the Incredicoaster, which is the best roller coaster, I think, in Southern California, beating out all of the roller coasters they have at Knott's Berry Farm. Although I can only ride it a couple times a year because it goes completely upside down in a looped inversion and makes me kind of nauseous and sick to my stomach, and then I need 30 minutes to recover. And then the other thing that DCA has is they just definitely have better food. It's not inexpensive. It's a bit spendy, a bit pricey, but the food over at Carthay Circle is spectacular. I mean, really great. And although it's very expensive, but it's really good. And over on the boardwalk, the restaurants there, Lamplight Lounge and Lamplight Boardwalk Bar, are really great. So the food there is generally better than it is here at Disneyland. But I will give it to Disneyland. Over the last 5 years or so, they've really improved their food here. And I feel like what you pay for the food here at Disneyland is a good value. Because, you know, all the fast food places, whether it's McDonald's or Jack in the Box or Carl's Jr. or Wendy's or whatever you want to think of, they've gotten so expensive that now the food here at Disneyland is about the same price or less expensive, but actually better quality than most of all of those restaurants. The only one that I kind of like right now out of those fast food places is Carl's Jr. I like the way they grill their burgers, and their French fries and onion rings are really good. So those are pretty good. But I have a high standard for burgers because Lizzie and I make the best burgers. She seasons them and smashes them. We make like smash burgers. And then I grill them on an open flame out in the backyard on a barbecue. And you just can't beat that. Okay, once again, it's bright out here, so I can't read the chat, but let me see if I can get to a shadowy area so I can see what it says here in the chat. Love the corn dogs here. I'm not a big corn dog fan. I'll buy them once in a while, but I don't love the oil that they fry them in. Really do. And I want to like Avatar, but for some reason it just doesn't resonate with me. A reboot of Fern Gully. There you go. Fern Gully was cool. I loved Bugs Land. Bugs Land was amazing. I was sad to see that go. But I do love Cars Land. Cars Land is amazing. I just absolutely love it. That's probably the other thing that DCA really has going for it is Cars Land is amazing, and the roadsters, the racers are fantastic. That's a fantastic ride. I love that. That has been down for renovations, but I think it's back up now. So maybe I'm going to go over there tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'll start out here in Disneyland in the morning. I'll try to be here earlier than 11. And then when it turns to be 11 o'clock, I will cross over into DCA and go for the Radiator Springs Racers ride, because I do love that ride. All right, it's time for merch search again. Picked up a great shirt here last week that I will be debuting on my debut podcast when I start doing that. I'm still doing more Disney research for that podcast. So I haven't launched that yet, but that'll be coming soon, sometime in October. And I was looking for just the perfect shirt for that, and I finally found it here at the park. But I'm always on the hunt for a good button-down shirt. Like, I love this shirt too. This is a really nice shirt. I think the one I got is nicer, but this is really nice as well. Because I love all of the classic characters on a shirt. Yeah, this is fun. I love printed shirts like this. This is the shirt that I bought last week. This is the shirt I bought last week that I'm gonna wear on my podcast. See how it has all the characters? And I like the blue color. So cool. Yeah, I agree. I think for me, maybe like you, I think the Avatar experience or the Avatar, whatever they're gonna do, whether it's rides or a miniature land, I think that is gonna be more interesting and more fun for me than the actual movie. I think they did a good job with Jungle Cruise, the movie though. You know, where we have rides that inspired movies, like Pirates of the Caribbean was inspired by the ride. Fantastic franchise of movies. And then the Jungle Cruise, that was fantastic as well. The actors were great, and the movies were very entertaining. I love your outfit. You look gorgeous. I love it to see people dressed up in the holiday spirit, in the Halloween holiday spirit, or in the Christmas holiday spirit, any holiday. I love it when people are inspired by films, attractions, characters, or holidays, and Disney bound their way. Ooh, that's neat. It's like a corkboard thing. And that's really neat. Ooh, these are cool. Inspired by the Haunted Mansion. And this, of course, inspired by the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. There's Zero. All these characters. So awesome.
Can I get, what are these here? The ones that are locked up right here. It's like a history one, but it's got a lock on it. Yeah, that's just the most recent one. Okay.
Oh, this is like pen trading, not pen trading, but pen purchasing. It's like a pen supermarket. Supermarket of pens. So great. You got any magic today?
We always have magic.
Ah, you want to do some magic for me?
Yeah.
My viewers would love to see a real magician.
Fine tricks. This is one of my personal favorites. Have you ever seen the magic lights?
Spirit lights, no.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna use your imagination. Try to pull that light right off the box.
Try to pull the light off the box?
Yes.
That is impossible for me. I am not a magician. Oh, look what he did. That was crazy. That was crazy. He's doing it again. I don't get it. How's he doing that? That's pretty good, Johnny.
That's gross.
I gotta say, that was some good magic.
Here, you can keep this one.
Okay, thank you. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it went away. It went out. Thanks, Johnny. I love the Disney characters as mummies. Oh, okay. Like a water flume ride. Gotcha. Well, that could be interesting. I think we could use another water flume ride. I like the one over in DCA. Ooh, this is nice. This is a really nice Christmas ornament or Halloween ornament. Let's see if I can show it to you with some light on it. Look at that, Mickey and Minnie. in a hot air balloon that is a jack-o'-lantern. That is awesome. I need a bigger house, like with a second story that I could just have all the Disney stuff in. Of course, then I'd need to be a multimillionaire so I could buy all the Disney stuff. But it's still fun seeing it here. Ooh, this is neat. It's got all of the characters from Nightmare Before Christmas all coming out of a coffin. Yeah, that's cool. Comes in a box in the shape of a coffin. Includes 13 plushies. Comprehend 13 plushies. It's a 13-day countdown calendar. Oh, okay. Kind of like an advent calendar. It's a 13-day calendar and you get a different plushie in each calendar day. That's kind of neat. If I had little kids, I would get that for them. They would love it. My kids are now grown up, working their way through the world. Ooh, these are cool. These are all kind of retro style t-shirts. See, I'm such a t-shirt fanatic. I love every kind of t-shirt, but I love retro looking stuff like this. And this was the original Disneyland entrance sign that we all saw as kids. And it's so famous. Very cool. Very, very cool. And I have the 70th anniversary baseball jersey like that. Yeah, that train has been down all day. The Disneyland train has been down and not operating all day. Crazy, I don't know why. There's our Mickey Jack-o'-lantern. Okay, my friends, we've spent about 3.5 hours live streaming today. I'm going to be back here tomorrow morning, on Tuesday morning, probably around 9 o'clock. So thank you for joining me today. And if you want to hear some stories, check out my other channel tonight at 6 p.m. Storytime with Indiana Holmes. Storytime with Indiana Holmes will broadcast from 6 to 7 p.m. tonight with another chapter in our murder mystery. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you had fun. I surely did. I'll see you all either tonight at 6 p.m. on the other channel or tomorrow right back here on this channel. Love to you all. This has been Indiana Holmes at Disneyland. Bye-bye, guys.
Time